Good evening, everyone. James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came to Jesus and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." He replied, "What do you wish me to do for you?" They answered him, "Grant that in your glory we may sit one at your right and the other at your left." Mark 10, verses 35 to 37. What a bold statement from James and John. But notice the gentleness in Jesus' response. The other apostles, however, were not as gentle. We read that when they heard about this request from James and John, they became indignant about it. In response, Jesus explains to them all that whoever wishes to be great among you will be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you will be the slave of all. Our fallen human nature is regularly tempted to desire worldly greatness, prestige, honors, and admiration. We want others to think well of us and even to envy us. But this is a sin. Recall that this was one of the temptations that Jesus overcame in the desert. The devil tempted our Lord by promising him earthly rule over all the nations. Jesus rejected this temptation and, by doing so, provides all the grace we need to do the same. One thing this passage reveals is that our Lord is patient with us as we work through our sin. He was patient and gentle with James and John while they attempted to gain places of honor next to him. He was patient with the indignation of the other apostles when they struggled with envy and jealousy. And Jesus will be patient with us as we work through the sins that most tempt us. In addition to his patience, Jesus also provides us with the tools we need to overcome our temptation. One tool Jesus provides us with is truth itself. Jesus' truth, found in his many teachings and in the example he set, is often contrary to the wisdom of our age and the tendencies we experience with our fallen human nature. In fact, we can be certain that almost every tendency and desire we will experience in life will be disordered to a certain extent. This is because our human nature itself is disordered on account of original sin. The only way to reorder our desire and tendencies is to turn to the clear and profound truth our Lord has given us. Regarding the desire for worldly honors and greatness, Jesus provides the truths spoken above. Whoever wishes to be great among you will be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you will be the slave of all. Do you desire to be a servant? And to go even further, do you desire to be the slave of all? Hopefully you do, but most likely you do not. Reflect today upon the disordered desires of these apostles. Reflect also upon Jesus' gentle correction of them. As you do, look into your own soul and seek to discover the disordered desires and tendencies that Jesus wants to reorder within you. Do not be afraid to face the gentle and freeing truths that our Lord wants to speak to you. Listen to Him. Be open and wisely accept what He says to you so that you will be free and will experience the joys that await. and God bless you.
Brothers and sisters, we are now on the 29th Sunday in Ordinary Time. And we'll be reflecting this Sunday on the attitudes of the two beloved disciples of Jesus, James and John, sons of Zebedee. They asked a very intriguing and valid question there as they thought it. Lord, could you give something whatever we ask for? It's a question then of importance in as much as many of us have asked the Lord for anything and for any reason. And then the Lord told them, what would you like to ask from them? And they told him that if you're in glory, if one of us will sit at your right and one could be seated at your left. It was a question of power, a question of authority, a question of arrogance, so to speak. That when a person asked for a seat on the right or the left side of an important person, is always a quest for greatness, is always a search for power and dominion over others. And at that point, brothers and sisters, the Lord told them, do you know what you're asking for? Would you possibly take the cup I will be taking and be baptized in the baptism which I was baptized? Easily they retorted, yes, Lord. We will easily take the cup that you'll be taking and be baptized in the baptism you've been baptized. But the Lord told him, brothers and sisters, for the cup that you've taken, you take it. For the baptism we baptized, would surely be baptized. But to be seated at my right and left is not from me to decide. It is from my Father in heaven, to whom the places have been decided. It was then a very strong words of people are always asking for favors. People have ambition to dominate. People who have ambition to be the authority over others. Now, listening from them, the 10 disciples of Jesus feel indignant. You are not precisely because you don't believe, or be angry because you don't approve what you were asking for, but for a simple, obvious reason, because they have asked what they were thinking ahead of them. These two beloved disciples of Jesus were clever enough to ask a favor from the Lord. At that point, brothers and sisters, the Lord was telling them on the great, authentic, true discipleship. If you want to be the first, be the last. If you want to rule, be the servant. After all, the Lord came to the world not to be served, but to serve to become Christ. At this point, brothers and sisters, we need to passively reflect on the things we usually ask. Do we ask something because we want to be well with others? Do we ask something to the Lord because we care for others? Or because just we care for our own selfish interests, our own whims and caprices? Definitely, the Lord will always challenge us from the perspective of really purifying our intentions, really for us to come to terms in terms of becoming authentic disciples. So hopefully, brothers and sisters, in this 20th Sunday, in the dinner time, we always be guided on the values of the kingdom, the values of humility, the values of sincerity, the values of becoming a servant. After all, the Lord came into this